Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquer and Commander. Today we're going to be looking at my Karn Silver Golem deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com, look up my article series Conquer and Commander. Right now they're having Robot Week out there, and that's why we're not doing another pre-con. Instead, I'm going back over my deck around the original Big Bad Robot, Karn himself. My first deck that I made, an article about this guy, was about 3 years ago, and so obviously it's long overdue for an update. Scars of Mirrodin came out and provided a bunch of new artifacts. My original version was more powerful than this version. It's not a combo version. I'm not a huge fan of the combo version with like Mycosynthelatus and stuff like that. So the original version was more powerful. However, it had mana issues, mainly because the average CMC with that one was like 4.5. I managed to cut it down to 3.5, but I lose some of the power. But the deck has a better early game, obviously. Let's go ahead and take a look at our opponents here. First up, we have Sliver Overlord, Slivers. This deck confused the crap out of me, and you'll see why in a minute. Next up, we've got Marrow-Gnawer, Rat Tribal, very fun, very cool. This guy's going with Relentless Rats all over the place, so that's fun. Finally, we've got Prossh, Skyraider of Kher. I've been seeing a decent amount of Prossh decks. I have not run into a super cutthroat, like, food chain Prossh version, but I'm sure I'll run into it eventually. Take a look at my hand. I've got 2 lands and not a whole lot of early action, so I send this back. I better send it back. There it is. So I've got a bunch of lands and Phyrexian Processor, Overflowing Chalice, early Skull Clamp for Marrow-Gnawer, Croson Verge for Sliver Overlord. Okay, so this is... So I do turn 2, Everflowing Chalice for 1, and then Brittle Effigy. Now, I could have played Ancient Tomb first turn for an Everflowing Chalice for 1. I held off, and I'm not really sure why. I'm pretty sure I had a reason for it. I just didn't do it. So Sliver Queen helps out with her mana here. I play the Processor now, and I do it for 15 life. Alright? I would not recommend doing more than 15 life early on unless you have a significant life advantage. I find 15 seems to be about right. I don't know, if you guys use Processor a lot, let me know what you guys think. There's Darksteel Plate for Prossh, which is going to be problematic because my minions do not have trample. Marrow-Gnawer plays his first Relentless Rat. Sliver Queen plays Palladium Myr. And I'm like, okay. So there's a couple things to note about this deck. There's no non-basic lands, right? Plus there's a Palladium Myr. So maybe it's not 100% slivers. So we'll see. I've got Blinkmoth Urn here. But right now what I want to do is get out a Processor. So there's Lightning Greaves for Prossh and another rat. When the rats come after me, well, I just make a minion and I block. And I kill it. Palladium Myr gets tapped to play Darksteel Ingot and Sisay's Ring and Kaleidostone. Okay, so that's a lot of artifacts. So now I'm really confused. I mean, admittedly, they aren't like super expensive artifacts, but maybe it's a combo deck? I don't know. I'm just really confused by this deck, and it confuses the crap out of me. So first I go after Prossh, because I know he's going to Darksteel Plate something and create a blocker. Then I play Palladium Myr. Kobold comes out and gets equipped with the Darksteel Plate. So he's got a nice little blocker right there. There's Relentless Rats. Marrow-Gnawer stuck in land. Sliver Queen plays Scion of the Ur-Dragon. What the heck? I'm just so confused. And then plays Croson Drover, which is an old school card. I make another minion. Okay, so basically at this point, because I see Scion out there, I decide I'm going to go ahead and try and take out the Sliver, because I don't know if he's going to Scion for Nicole Bolas. I don't know. I'm just super confused by this deck, and the new things scare me. So I send both my minions after him. He does not block with the Scion, which means I have reason to be concerned about the Scion. He's down to 25 now. And I play Batterskull. Alright. If I get hit by Nicol Bolas, I lose Joyous Toolbox, which is sad, and Blinkmoth Urn, which is even more sad, but there's not much I can do about that. And I remember, I wasn't too worried about losing the urn because Prossh has 2 artifacts, Marrow-Gnawer has 1, and Sliver Queen has 3. So I didn't really want to help everybody out with that. There's another rat. The Marrow-Gnawer does not attack anybody. Sliver Queen cycles something. And then return to dust on my processor. No! But he picked my Brittle Effigy as well, so I used the Effigy to get rid of the Scion rather than make another dude. At this point, I don't know. Would it have been better probably to make another minion? Maybe. But the Scion was screwing with me, my head. I just was confused. So I got rid of the Scion. And then he plays Diabolic Servitude to get his Krosan Drover back. So I draw in a Mirren. I play it. Batterskull is going to help with life gain. I send my 2 big guys after Sliver Queen and my Batterskull after Prossh. Oh, it's Overlord. I'm sorry. I said Sliver Queen. It's Overlord. My bad. He makes another Kobold. Doesn't matter. So the Overlord's down to 10. I go up to 25. Prossh makes another Kobold. And does nothing. Marrow-Gnawer finally draws Reliquary Tower and plays Door of Destinies. Holy cow. Picking rat. There's Vorosh. So there are other dragons in there. Huh. Who can get big and scary. I draw in a Mind's Eye. So first I use my Rogue's Passage to make one of my minions unblockable. That's going to take out the Sliver Overlord. I send 1 minion after the rat player and my Batterskull after Prossh. And there's the Sliver Overlord player. Done. Okay. So now Prossh is just going to keep making kobolds. The rat player plays another rat, makes all his rats bigger, but he does not attack. It's interesting. So I send 2 of my minions after the rat player and the Batterskull after Prossh. I'm just concerned about the rats getting out of control because if he manages to bring Marrow-Gnawer out and give it haste, he's going to get a ton of huge dudes. So he basically throws a bunch of rats in front of one of the minions. Might take 2 of them out. And then I play Mind's Eye so that I can draw some more cards. There's Mutavault. Parallel Lives. Prossh is still having mana problems. Draw into All Is Dust. I like that. Relentless Rats. Bad. Equips with Skull Clamp. No attack still. Play another land. I make 1 more minion unblockable and take out the rat player. Okay. I use Strip Mine to get rid of Kher Keep because I just don't want him to make a ton more kobolds to feed to Prossh. And then I play Blinkmoth Urn. Okay. And I'm like, sweet, I'm going to have a ton of mana. I'm going to be able to do all this cool stuff. It'll be awesome, right? Let's see what happens here. I draw another card. What does he do? He plays Hellkite Tyrant. Holy cow. Right? And I'm like, oh my god, that's awful, especially because he has Lightning Greaves. No! So, yeah, he steals my whole board. Bam. Now, the only good thing, I've got 2 good things right here. I still have a 15/15 minion. He's at 26. Yeah, really, that's it. That's my whole board right there that he just took. Almost. Including my Mind's Eye. Ugh, awful. So I'm going to give my minion unblockable. And I attack. So he's at 11. Okay, so he Bajuka Bogs me. Fine, whatever. I'm at 21. And he can play Prossh and make a bunch of kobolds. However, I do have a flying blocker in Inkmoth Nexus. And he's going to sacrifice all his kobolds to him to make him 21-21 or something. Yeah, so he's up to 19, 20, 21. So he can kill me with commander damage right here. Alright. And then he draws Whisper Silk Cloak. The problem with Whisper Silk Cloak is that he can't equip the cloak after it's been Lightning Greaved. He can only Lightning Greaves or cloak it. But if he wants to attack now, he has to have the Greaves on it. So he just goes with the Greaves. And he puts the cloak on Hellkite Tyrant. Now, one thing that I didn't think about until after the game, but I'm realizing right now, is that he still controls Batterskull due to Hellkite Tyrant. So he could have equipped Prossh with Batterskull instead of the cloak. If he had enough mana, I'm not sure he does. I'm pretty sure he does, actually. He could have equipped and gotten a ton of life. Even if I blocked with the Inkmoth Nexus. And that would have put him at like 30-something. I don't know. But as is, I'm able to make my minion unblockable. And he's like, oh, he had Damnation in his hand, but he didn't have enough black mana to cast it. So anyways, a little bit of luck, and I managed to pull it off. I really thought the Tyrant was going to kill me. I mean, this is not something you really consider when you're playing... I haven't seen Hellkite Tyrant in, like, almost, like, probably 7 or 8 months now. And, of course, I run against him when I'm playing Karn. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that game. Thanks a ton.